And Toriyama's like, and then we'll have Goku give him, you ready for this? A Senzu bean. Like, am I right? Am I right, Toyotaro? Toyotaro's just there like, this motherfucker's serious right now. Okay, people, so Dragon Ball Super Chapter 65, after all of the leaks, all of the mind-blowing... yeah, mind-blowing is also correct in this instance, people. Spoilers that we got for this chapter. The full thing is here in its glory, to say the least. Like, I'll keep it real. The chapter as a whole, in totality, is not as bad as the small increments of spoilers that were released leading up to the chapter. I'll give it to that credit. But my gosh, fam, like the recreation of the Cell Saga and even a small instance of the Buu Saga in this chapter, Toyotaro, like, is Toriyama like giving you these ideas and say, yo, this is revolutionary. Are you ready, fam? Are you ready for this? You ready for this? And then proceed to explain the plot of Cell and throw in a little bit of Buu. Like, is that what's happening here? Because we got in that interview recently where it was told that, like, oh yeah, they agree on everything. So, like, is Toriyama just telling the plot of the Cell Saga and plot of Buu Saga, like, not even realizing that he's self-plagiarizing, essentially? And Toyotaro's like, revolutionary, fam. Revolutionary, dog. Like, yo, that's never been done before. My gosh, people. Let's talk some Dragon Ball Super after Chapter 65 and the battle of Goku Ultra Instinct versus Moro. Let's do it.
Say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be, though.
So the chapter starts off with Krillin saying, oh, okay, Goku, fam, you that buff now? You don't need no Senzu? Bet, no doubt, fam, you strong as shit. Forgive me if I joke around with this one, because, yeah, it is funny. Goku blasts the boulder that was holding down Moro, which, like I said in my spoiler video, why is Rocks holding down Moro? I mean, yeah, I get he's beat up, but this is like a galactic monster. But alrighty then, and Goku orders him, yo, get up, fam, get up right now. I'll be honest with you, throughout this chapter, Goku felt like 12, okay? He felt like 12 throughout this chapter, and I'm not talking about Android 12, I'm talking about the boys, Po 9. Is what Goku felt like in this chapter. He snatches the Senzu from Krillin, the Senzu beans, and I'm just like, oh goddamn, like, yo. Although you could argue because Goku is an Ultra Instinct that his body is moving and doing these things without his mind telling him to do it. So there's that argument there of like, because you think about it, like, since when does Goku go and snatch shit from Krillin? Wouldn't he just say, yo, throw me the beans, or hey, can I get one? Like, he just straight up yank. Give me them shits, you little bald motherfucker. And the worst, horrible, pathetic part of the chapter where Toriyama started, hey, idea one. Yo, why don't we do some crazy shit, right? Like, after Moro is defeated and all messed up and shit like that, Goku just got to this next mode and, he, you know, Moro's down for the count or whatever. What about if Goku decides, yo, you know what? Hey, if you be a good boy and go back to your cell, I'll let you go. It'll be cool. You just gotta promise not to break out, fam. So, oh, okay. And Moro's like, yeah, Bean Daddy, of course. Whatever you say, Big Daddy Buff Bagwell. Like, what? And Toriyama's like, and then we'll have Goku give him, you ready for this? A Senzu bean. Like, am I right? Am I right, Toyotaro? And Toyotaro's just there like, this motherfucker's serious right now. But Moro takes the Senzu, heals up. I think it was everything except like the crystals on his forehead and his hands. But he's, for the most part, healed up. His horns is back to normal and shit like that. And he's like, yo, I really appreciate it, fam. Thanks. You a good dude, bro. But I ain't going nowhere until you take these hands. And he throws a punch at Goku, and Goku, the Ultra Instinct, as Whis is narrating throughout the chapter here and there, the Ultra Instinct form is so freaking superb that Moro's hand essentially breaks and gets destroyed after trying to punch Goku in the chest, which shows like Goku did it on a cocky way, which is again hilarious because his 9-year-old son during the Cell games, when he went Super Saiyan 2, had to learn that hard lesson of, hey, just finish him off. Don't give in to anything else. Just get rid of him. And Goku starts to give him the same same spiel he'd give any other villain, despite this guy being a multi-million-year monster that has killed and destroyed planet after planet. Like, yo, Goku, just a thought right here. I know you're selfish and you're thinking about how you feel at the moment and what you think is right. How do you think the millions upon millions, possibly billions, trillions of lives that were taken, how do you think those people feel in the afterlife looking at this and saying, oh, this son of a bitch is actually letting him rock? Like, wow. Because Goku says, hey, you're a coward, fam. Like, you can't beat me not at my level. Have you ever trained? And starts giving him the spiel of, hey, you know, maybe if you train and this and that. And Moro's like, yo, fam, we don't train around here. Which Moro giving a little bit of like that Frieza vibe of Frieza never thought about training up until like the film. All of a sudden he's like, yo, I'm gonna go train, motherfucker. Moro just shits all over it. Like, training is for losers. Training is for people that want to use that shit as a clutch. We don't train around here, fam. And Goku tries to, I'd love to fight you again someday after you train, to which Jocko comes in as like the consciousness of like, you know, the average reader saying, Goku, not everyone can change, shut the fuck up and kill him. And to Goku replies, I know, I will, just let him get to the point where he can overthrow me and defeat me and blow everyone up, okay? I did find it interesting when Moro gave a little bit of a dive into, or just mentioned at the very least anyway, he didn't really dive into the Saiyans, when he's like, yo, to think that I'd be defeated by a tribe that just showed up a few million years ago, which that's interesting. And I'm assuming he's talking about Saiyans, right? He's not talking about Earthlings, which, okay, Saiyans have been around for millions of years at this point, although to Moro that's nothing. That he was in the galactic prison for what, 10 million years and shit like that. But that was a cool little reference. I hope we eventually get to see more of Planet Saddle, where Caulifla and Kale and shit, like I want to see more of that, and their king and all that shit. But yeah, that was a cool reference. And then when Goku says, you'll never be free again, you'll never have freedom, come quietly or the bad, like, yo, Goku sounded like one of the good cops or some shit. Like he was a good cop right there. Like, come quietly, this can end badly, or like, fuck you, Goku, you piece of shit, you put us in this predicament. Like, I got no sympathy for Goku. Like, from the universe survival, you know, tournament of power, putting everybody's millions and trillions of lives at risk, to this, like, no sympathy. Then Goku goes back into his UI form because he had left it for a moment, just like for whatever fucking reason. Like, hey, let me get weak, maybe he could tear my head off for a moment there or whatever. But Goku reverts back to his Ultra Instinct form, to which Moro starts asking him about Mirrors, and Goku's like, hey, let me give you all the details in case there's anything that you could do with this information to flip the tables. Let me tell you, that was my teacher, he could use this form. Like, let me give you all that. To Goku's credit, obviously he's thinking to himself like, well, there's nothing he could do with this information. He's defeated and beat down, you know what I'm saying? So I'll give Goku credit there of like, he's not gonna think that, hey, that hand is still sitting around there or whatever. To which I gotta, you know, apologize for my spoiler video. I did say something like, oh, what the hell, how is he getting Mirrors' powers? Did Mirrors return or whatever? But if you go back to the chapter, which just shows a flashback, Moro did for a split second actually get a hand on Mirrors' neck, and that hand was cut off, and that hand was still sitting around. So that power, Mirrors' power, was still sitting in the palm of Moro's hand, which, to be honest with you, straight up, that gave me vibes of when Super Buu was having, you know, his little gunk, his antenna, his tentacle sitting around, and he used it to absorb Gotenks, and he used it to absorb Gohan. Like, that was straight up what it gave me vibes of. Again, this is Toriyama. Hey, Toyotaro, so like, yo, get this shit. This never been done before. Never, ever. It never happened. Yo, I'm gonna have that hand, you know, that body part of Moro, we're gonna have it just sitting around, just like, you know, somewhere, and then eventually he's gonna spring up and reattach it, and eventually he's gonna take them by surprise and get even stronger than he was before, and nobody's gonna see it coming. Brilliant, right? Toyotaro's like, somebody help me. And Moro reattaches his hand, and Ultra Instinct Moro is born. He grows a lot of fur, which is to indicate like the white hair, which makes me wonder, was Mirrors always in Ultra Instinct? Are all the angels always in Ultra Instinct? That's why their hair is white? I think all the angels' hair was white, if I'm not mistaken. So makes me wonder, like, is Ultra Instinct like a byproduct of it? No matter who you are, what you are, is that white hair? I mean, obviously Ultra Instinct Goku, he went into that, but I thought that was more like a Saiyan thing. But this is even different from like a Super Saiyan. It seems as though anybody that has Ultra Instinct, their hair turns white because Moro grows like all that white fur and shit. And at this point, Beerus should just Hakai Goku, like, you idiot, this is your fault, screw you. But we got a pretty epic clash, I will admit. It did look nice. It was a double spread of Goku and Moro clashing with each other and shit. The art was pretty sick. So we got something cool out of the blunders of the Cell Saga remixed with a bit of Boo in there. Like, yeah, there was a cool clash, and I liked seeing it, although they were basically evenly matched, because think about it, Goku has harnessed this, he's, like he said in the chapter, honed it, he understands the power, he's been training in it. Moro just got it right now, so he's not gonna have a handle. If Moro had time to train, he'd probably be 10 times stronger than Goku, although he even says in this one that, hey, at the very least, on top of this, I got my magic ability. And the powers and the clashing is so crazy that Whis has to create, like, you know, a key bubble essentially to protect Krillin, Jocko, and just throw Beerus in there so he don't gotta do shit. Like, why not? And Goku, to kind of get Moro away from there and, you know, protect the earth, so to speak, lures him away, which, hey, you're thinking now, good job. And they go on some speed test throughout the world, which just shows that they're on a whole other level. I remember at the end of, I want to say it was at the end of Z, Goku's talking to Pan, and he's like, oh, cool, you went around the earth once or twice and shit like that. They probably went around a billion fucking times the earth in this little speed race or some shit like that, which, again, didn't make much sense why Goku was trying to race him. And okay, whatever, but Goku hasn't been thinking this chapter. He's been thinking about himself, so why not? It's like, hey, I let you get stronger, which very eerily similar to Vegeta letting Cell get stronger. But yeah, let's go on a race, fam. Then Moro thinks he's Luffy Gear 3rd and makes his arm get really big and tries to hit Goku with it, although I think that was actually like a byproduct of like the god key that he had in him from Mirror's. That angel power is ridiculous to control, but I do think to a certain degree some of that was him. Again, that wasn't really unclear in terms of him buffing up his hand. After a certain point, his whole body started getting big and it was explained, but I wonder if that first attack with the big hand was due to like Moro doing it himself or him not being able to control. Probably a bit of both, I'd imagine, but more so maybe the losing of control little by little, to which once Goku kicks his back in, it's like Toriyama yet again. Okay, this is my most brilliant point up until this point. You ready, Toyotaro? You ready? You're not gonna believe this one. I'm gonna throw you out of your chair with this one. Essentially, I'm gonna set it up to, after all is said and done, Moro, he's gonna start getting really, really big. His form is gonna kind of like, almost like a reverting, if you think about it. He's not as crafty anymore because his form is just too big to handle. And he's essentially gonna become like a human bomb. And thanks to the Senzu being that Goku gave him and the trickery of his, you know, extra body part coming out of nowhere, he's gonna be even more of a threat. You know it. Don't lie. I see it in your eyes. Just kill me. Just kill me. And Goku warns Moro, you better abandon that body. You can't control it. The power from the angel from Mirror's is too strong for you, because his body is like swelling up and he's looking again like semi-perfect Cell or whatever, just really big. Like, remember when Cell was like, I'm going to turn into a bomb to beat you, and like he gets, like, that's kind of what happens with Moro. But Moro, instead of listening and heeding Goku's warning, continues to attack Goku without any thought of like, hey, you know, you're gonna blow up. Your body can't handle this, regardless if you think I've eaten millions of planets. Like, it kind of also is an indication of like this angel key and this angel power is next level shit. It's nothing like, you know, you can have a billion lives or a billion people's energy and shit like that. It's not gonna amount even closely to what these angels are capable of, which makes sense why, you know, Mirror's was as strong as he was, stronger than Goku and Vegeta, because the angels are just on a whole other plateau. But eventually Moro does realize he needs a bigger body to house this power rather than get rid of the ability. As he's staring down at Earth, Goku is getting ready to blast him because Whis is like, yo, I'm telling you, kill him now, which I'll give credit to Goku here as well. It seems as though he's willing to do it, despite earlier he's kind of like dragging his feet to do it. At the very least now, which again, too late, once again, Goku, you still got lessons to learn. He readies himself to kill Moro, and then all of a sudden, yeah, Moro merges with Earth, and it is explained that essentially if you basically to kill Moro, you have to blow up Earth, and because of all of that angel key, it'll wipe out the galaxy, because Moro has merged with Earth. He used his technique to, I don't even understand it, like what power, which one of those in his arsenal was that to be able to merge with Earth, but yeah, essentially going full blown into the semi-perfect Cell. I'm a bomb, I'm going going to blow up Earth scenario. Toriyama just like, if there were ever self-plagiarism, Toriyama just mastered it. But one of the silver linings of this all means, more than likely, in my opinion, that Vegeta's spirit fission is going to be very vital and integral to taking him down, basically separating him from the Earth. So there's that. Vegeta will have a cool moment, although I don't think he'll still have the deciding factor, the defeating moment or whatever. But yeah, this chapter, I kind of summed it up with, it was a Cell Saga remix with a little bit of Boo in there, and just kind of like, art was cool and some stuff, fights was okay. Goku was at the very least willing to make the decisions. He just really is still stuck on stupid of, you know, oh, not everybody. Like, no, some motherfuckers, they don't care. Like, look what Goku Black did to Chi-Chi and Goten and shit like that. You still haven't learned, so Goku's still regressing. This chapter was just like, it was... Toriyama thought that he made a masterpiece when he made shit filet mignon. He took like big piles of chunks of shit and put it together and was like, voila. But yeah, there was some cool moments of this one. It's definitely, again, remixing old ideas in terms of like, well, Moro's merged with Earth, so I guess that's kind of cool in terms of like, it's not going to be a hand-to-hand combat, although I probably would have preferred just that. Although I guess technically we got that in the battle that they had leading up to it, of Moro being, you know, Ultra Instinct Moro versus Goku. I thought that was kind of cooler, but yeah, I don't know. I feel as though I'm really ready for Moro's arc to wrap up. Let's get Vegeta to use Spirit Fission and separate Moro from Earth, and then have one final blast and get rid of this dude. Like, enough is enough. But I'm curious what you guys thought of this chapter in its totality. How do you feel about how things went down? The catastrophe that is Dragon Ball Super Chapter 65. Like, there was some cool moments. Was it redeeming in terms of like the outcome of it all? Like, no, like, honestly, the ending of the chapter is like, hey, he's a big monster bomb, similar to Semi-Perfect Cell. Goku didn't learn lessons that he should have learned 20-something fucking years ago when the Cell Saga came out. Like, no. But again, some of the shit looked cool, so there's that. And maybe the anime will do this a lot more justice and make it a lot more enjoyable. Like, who knows? I could honestly see myself, because I know people are going to call me out 2-3 years from now, you hated this shit in the manga. If the anime does it better, anime gives more logical explanations, anime fleshes it out more, doesn't make it feel identical to the Cell Saga and shit, maybe it'll wow me. But as it stands right now, it's just like real meh and real like, why? And your overall thoughts and expectations for the Dragon Ball Super manga with chapter 66 and beyond. How will Semi-Perfect Cell be stopped? But that is all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and yeah, Toriyama, good job. Yeah. Toyotaro, stop listening to this motherfucker, please.
It's nights like this, and times like this, that I can give another hit. But I've got this inside a switch, a natural bliss, but that I miss.